I always don't know if it's yes. Okay,
I think we're live.
yes, now we're live. Hey, yes. Okay, I think I always struggle with this, but welcome everyone. Welcome to our third episode of the Warrior Women. I'm so excited to be here today with Cynthia Stant. As you know, I have been talking about this all week. Cynthia is a seven-figure sales producing professional. She is into metaphysics. She has achieved success in great lengths. She helps clients within the sales world. She has her own program. She's got her podcast as well, Spiritual Success. So please welcome Cynthia here with me today. Thank you
Hey,
for
thank you
being
so
here.
much for having me. This
No,
is really fun. I know this is gonna be a good chat. This is gonna be a good one. And I didn't realize lucky number 3, perfect.
yes, you are. Yes. 3 is actually my lucky number as well. So my birthday's on the 3rd as well.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, it's so great to have you here. And yeah, thank you for being here with us today.
Yeah, of course. I hear you have quite a few questions, so I'm excited to jump into all things metaphysical and just hang out. So this will be great.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I really wanted you to start kind of just talking about your childhood. Like, what was that like for you? And yeah, what was your childhood like for you?
Yeah. So honestly, my story has so much to do with who and where I am now.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I am the youngest in my entire family, significantly.
Okay.
My sister's 7 years older, and then she's the youngest out of all the cousins. So, I mean, I was alone a
Yeah.
lot. Um, I bonded with my imagination. I was always playing by myself. And the funny thing is now, as a mother of two, I look at my little boys play. And when
Yeah.
they play, they are gone. I always joke around. I say there's nothing more powerful than a little boy in a Batman suit because, like, for him, he is Batman.
Yeah.
And I see my kids and they're playing Star Wars and they're like, pew pew pew, right? Like, and I'm just like, kids, and they don't snap out of it. And seeing that and
Yeah.
reflecting, like, wow, like that was me as a kid. I would just be immersed in this world, but I was kind of lonely and I was just craving attention. I wanted attention from someone.
Yeah.
And I remember one day my sister came home from school and she's like, "Hey, do you want to play?" And I was like, "Play? Like, yes, I want to play." And she said, "All right, let's play school." And my mom went out and I guess they went to a garage sale and they had like a chalkboard and like one of those old fashioned desks where it would pick up.
Yeah.
And of course, she was the teacher and I was the student. And I would do anything for that gold star. And I would like wanted the sticker and I would have like worksheets that she would do and she would grade. And go figure, my sister now has 3 masters and a doctorate in
Wow.
education. All of her theses are dedicated to her little sister who inspired her to be a teacher. But for
Wow.
me, what happened was she would teach me what she was learning in school that day. And
Right.
again, she's 7 years older. So at a very young age, I was taking on like really much more advanced information and I was doing anything and everything to learn it so that she would keep playing and keep playing with me.
Wow.
So when I was younger, I loved the attention. I mean, universities used to come and visit my family and be like, why is she the way she is? They asked us to have me skip 2 and 3 grades. And I just loved the attention
Yeah.
until you get to middle school.
Yeah.
Being the smart girl wasn't fun. It was a lot of, people not relating. So when they don't
Mhm.
relate, they would pick on, they would bully. And the thing is, my dad was a professional football player a long time ago too. So the athletic gene, I'm 6 foot tall, kind of transferred over.
Wow. Yes,
So it turns out
football
I'm
in
pretty
the UK is it's soccer. You guys,
soccer,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
soccer.
So American football. Yeah.
American football. Yeah.
Played for the New York Giants.
Yeah.
But
Oh wow.
so the thing is though, like, I mean, I ended up trying out for cheerleading. I ended up trying out for softball, and
Yes.
I would just make it. And it would be against people who, been playing their whole life. And I just kind of was just having fun with it. It didn't go so well. I would be starting when these girls have been playing forever. So they're like, who's this new girl? I don't want to deal with this. And honestly, I realized at probably the age 11, the bullying got so bad that I decided I don't want to be successful anymore. Like, I don't want to be successful. I don't want attention. I don't want people thinking that I'm too smart, that I'm too athletic, that I'm too
Right.
good at anything, because then I won't be liked. And all I wanted was to be liked. That's why I was doing these things. But I
Mm,
was associating that. I was conditioning myself to believe at a young age that successful means you won't be happy. And so I just played mediocre. I went to school full time. I worked full time, but I also partied full time. I just kind of was like, oh, let me just get along with everybody. I cared so much about being social. There
Yeah.
wasn't a single place that I went that I didn't wait in line. Like I wouldn't wait in line, didn't
Yeah.
pay for anything. I had friends everywhere. But it's funny, now that I'm older, you don't even see those friends, you know?
Yeah.
It was when I became a mom
Yeah.
at a young age of 22, is that when I was like, no, I have to change this. Like mediocre, what am I teaching my child? Like I need to
Yeah.
be more. And so that's kind of the story of how I grew up.
Wow. It's really funny you say like you conditioned your mind to believe that success is not good. Success is yeah, successful people are not happy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just coming from a world where you work with children and you understand like the kind of vulnerability of a child's mind to absorb that and then inbuilt it, and then as they grow up how that shows up in their life. So how did that show up for you in your life as an adult?
Well, it's funny. So as a kid, what is the number one thing that you always hear? No, no,
Yes.
no, no, you're
Yes.
gonna get dirty. No, you're gonna spend all your money and waste it. No, you're gonna make mommy upset. No, your friends are gonna blah, 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 blah. No, 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 no. We are literally conditioned to look for the negative in everything,
Yeah.
So, I mean, as I got older, I realized that's just a story that I'm telling myself.
Mm,
And the thing is, like you said, it's conditioning your beliefs. But what is a belief? A belief is just a thought that you think over and over again.
right.
And if I ask you right now, like, do you want chocolate ice cream or vanilla?
Yeah.
Which one?
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Okay. But wait, hold on. Actually, I want chocolate. Boom. That's how easy it was to change the thought.
Yes.
But we forget that's the basis of a belief.
Yeah.
But that thought becomes a habit. And so I realized I need to break these habits and I need to stop thinking,
Yeah.
that the story I created is true, because I remember being very successful when I was
Right.
younger. And please remember, success is so much more than just business,
Oh
finance,
yeah.
good grades, health,
Yeah.
wellness, relationships. It's all of it. Whatever your goals are, that is your success. So I realized that I wasn't going to listen to the no's that I was limiting myself with.
Mm,
I was the one telling myself no,
yeah.
not somebody else, me.
Yeah.
And I pushed like I never pushed before. I became so freaking driven. And that really kind of led me to really have the advance and success at a young age in my career.
Right.
So that's where that kind of went to.
Yeah. I really have that shift in that one moment. And I always
Yeah.
say that change happens in a moment through a decision. And
Mm-hmm.
did you have like an aha moment where you were like, this is my aha moment?
Yeah. Yeah. That's so, I love that you say that. So what I teach women to do is I work with CEO women, entrepreneur women,
Yeah.
powerhouse mamas, very, just driven young professionals too. But I always say, whether or not you're the CEO of your business,
Yeah.
you're still the CEO of your life.
Yes.
You call the shots. You're the visionary. It's up to you. The accountability comes to you.
Yeah.
So it was, I'm a journaler. I journal all the time.
Right.
Look, this is funny. I literally have a journal next to me. Like there's not
I
my
love
purses,
that.
my bags, wherever I'm sitting, there's a journal, because if I have it, I put it down. But
Yeah.
I journal all the time. And it was right after my father passed away. It was pretty
Right.
difficult. And I decided to keep journaling about it. But I was just, honestly, I was so fatigued from the grieving that I didn't want to put anything in journal. I was like, I'm gonna videotape myself.
Mm,
And this is me being very vulnerable, but you know what? For the sake of learning, I will do it. I created my own Facebook group. And if anybody ever found that Facebook group, they'd be like, this lady is crazy. But I created a Facebook group where I'm just the only member. Nobody else knows
right.
about it. They can't find it. And I would videotape myself and just talk out loud. And just whatever I was feeling, I would let pour out.
Yeah.
And of course, the hardest part is watching it back.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how habitually harmful my language was to myself. I had no idea while watching myself how often I said, I am trying. I'm gonna, I'm
Mm,
figuring out, I'm working on,
yeah.
someday I'm trying, I'm trying. Well, no shit. No wonder I wasn't getting the level of success or breakthroughs that I wanted, because I
Yeah.
wasn't owning anything. I wasn't
Mm,
claiming anything mine. And
yeah.
the universe literally just says, well, she's trying, so it's not hers. We're just going to give her what she wants. And she keeps saying she's trying. She's not doing, claiming, owning.
Yeah.
And when I found that out, I was like, whoa, and you're so right. You're the CEO of your life. You have to make decisions. Now, I work with multiple 7, 8-figure, high level CEO women.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed about the most successful ones is that they always make a very quick decision. Yes, no, yes, no. They never say, let me think on this one. Let me figure this out. Let's try this out. There's like, yes, no. And that's really what I decided I need to do in my life. Do I want success? Yes. It's not like, do I want to get this new level, this body, this man, yes. And wherever you say yes to success, you go first, the universe responds. So that was my aha, was when I saw those videos.
Yeah, wow. What an amazing way of discovering like your aha moment and coming to that. I mean, I think it's so important that you say, you know, the most successful people make decisions quick. That's something I've learned in my career as well, and then coming into business as well. It's like you have to make those quick decisions. You have to be an on the spot kind of person. It's this or this, let's go. You know, and you know, it's one of those where it's like sometimes you don't make the best decision, but that's okay. You learn through that, you grow through that. It is the decision you were meant to make so you could grow through it, you know.
Yeah. I have a client that I work with, and I feel her line, but because it's so funny, she's right. There's a fence. It's either yes or no. If you sit on the fence too long, your hiney's gonna hurt. So like, make a decision.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just, I say the same to my clients as well, you know, whether that's, you know, my clients that are in the farm, that come through the farm, it's like, yes or no, what are we going with? Because I can't work with you if you're not instructing me. So I definitely understand that. Talk to me about metaphysics. What brought you into that realm? And first of all, what is it for those people that don't know what that is? Catherine says that's powerful. So yeah, definitely. I do agree, Catherine. Those words are very, very powerful. And yeah, talk to me about metaphysics. What is it for people that don't know what it is, and how did you come into that realm?
Sure. So if we like look into the Latin breakdown of the word metaphysics, meta means more, and physics is the science that you can see. So it's more than what you can see. It's science. It's that governs the universe. It's the laws. I like to use an example. Let's see. I need a very fancy tool. My pen.
Hang on. I think you're frozen. Let's try.
Oh, like we all know if I like,
hang on. Okay, you're back.
Okay, cool. It's going to fall, right? Like, like we know that. Of course it's going to fall. But how do we know that? Because of gravity. See, gravity is a law of the universe. What goes up must come down, right?
Yes.
But the reason it's a law is because it's consistent. It works for you the same way it works for me, as it does for Catherine, as it does for Brad Pitt or a homeless person. Like, it works the same for everybody. But the thing is, you can see how gravity affects the pen, and you can utilize gravity because you're aware of it. But you don't actually see gravity itself. That is metaphysics.
Yes.
There's laws that govern the universe, and if you don't bring them into your awareness, they may not be working for you. They could be working against you. And so I've studied a ton in all different areas. So how did I get into it? Okay, so like I said, I had my little boy, my first one, Derek.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna be the best mom ever. I'm gonna rock and roll, and I'm gonna show him how hard mommy can work and make all this money and show him what success looks like. I'm not gonna give up on myself and let other people define me, and I'm gonna do it. So I applied for this position, literally 13 interviews later. 13.
Wow. I know.
I
have had so many interviews at one point in my life. I was traveling up and down the country during interviews, so I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I literally had like timed computer exams, and I had to meet this boss and that boss's boss's boss and all these different things, because what happened was I was being a liaison. I was representing 2 companies. For basically what I was doing is when I got that position, I ended up being the youngest person in the country, in the US.
Wow.
With that position, and I was one of the 4 women that had that position, and I was the youngest state portfolio manager in the country for the second largest supplier in the world. So I worked for the distributor, but I represented the supplier in wine and spirits.
Right.
And so wine and spirits, you're 22, 23, it's sexy, it's fun, it's like, you know, I'm in New York City, and then I'm in Miami, and then I'm in Kentucky, and then I'm in Vegas, and then I'm going. I'm having meetings about meetings before we even have the meetings, and I'm delegating, and then like all these like fun, flashy things. And then I realized, holy crap, like I did this job, career, so that I could be a really good mom. And wait, I'm never seeing my kid now. Like,
Yeah.
I like, this is totally like the opposite of what I was trying to do. And then what happens, as I got a little bit older, I started seeing that. And when are people celebrating with wine and spirits? Nights, holidays, weekends, right?
Yeah.
I was never seeing my baby. And then as I got a little bit older, the sexy appeal of it all started getting a little darker. That industry can be a little rough. Of course, I mean, I'm a certified intro sommelier through the Court of Masters. Like, I love the art of wine and spirits, but there's also a lot of alcoholism. There's a lot of even adultery because people are not making wise decisions in their fancy events, you know?
Yeah.
There's bootlegging. There's all this like dark like stuff that I was like, this is just not what I want it to be. I remember I got a phone call one day and I was in my office and my husband said, let's move to Florida. And I was like, what? And I just knew that that was the answer. So I was just like, okay. I got that phone call, walked into my director's office and was like, this is my 2 weeks, it's done. And we ended up moving to Florida the first time. And we started a real estate portfolio,
Wow.
real estate investment portfolio where we manage for investors overseas. Okay, so life is going great. Everything's going super well. Finances are like, oh, we're really successful now, right?
Right.
Well, I said, man, I'm ready for the second baby. And this time I'm going to be the best mom. I'm going to do it. I know I can do this. I'm going to be the best mom ever. And when I'm holding my little redhead, I have the most fiery little redhead, I'm sitting there rocking him in the chair. And I just remember being like, I suck at this. Like,
Yeah.
I suck at this. Like, I couldn't sit still because, again, my mind was so used to delegating and being here and being there and da, 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 da. I couldn't sit still. And that's when I said, I need help.
Yeah.
I ended up literally stumbling on a physical building, which was in Clearwater, Florida at the time, College of Metaphysical Studies. I showed up with my baby in the little basket and they're like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I don't have a freaking clue. I have no idea. I just know I'm supposed to be here. Like, all the signs led to it, of course. The story could be really long. But they're like, okay, let's get started. I sat down with my very first mentor ever, and she said, how much do you meditate? And I was like, what are you talking about? That takes too much time. I'm a busy woman. I'm like, wait, no, I'm not. I'm not a busy woman. I need to do this.
Yes.
First time I did it, oh my gosh, I went somewhere. Like, we were talking about that before, you and me. Like, I went somewhere, and it was like my soul was so thirsty.
Yeah.
I always say meditation is for your soul what food and water is to your body. And girl, I was thirsty. Like, I was like, ugh. Like, and when I came back to my body, I was like, yep, like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what I needed. And so that was the start of all. Working with, the College of Metaphysical Studies, getting certified through there. Right. And then it turned into intuitive practitioner, training with them. Metaphysical professors. Yeah. It was Reiki masters, legit, like, of course, business consultants and everything too, but magi, like legit magicians. Like, I've studied all of it because it just intrigues me. What you can't see really is what's actually so much more around, like, governing us. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I had my, as I call it, spiritual awakening when I was 16. And since then it's just been a fascination. You just keep learning and learning. And it's like there's no end to that learning, Every time I meditate, and I'm sure you feel the same, it's a different feeling. It takes you somewhere different. You learn something new. You have, and I don't know, like, I think I said to you, I hear, I hear thoughts that come through to me, but it's like every time it's a different thing. How would you kind of say, or rather, what's your advice to someone who has never meditated, who wants to try it, who is going through a difficult time in their life right now? What is your advice to them?
This sounds cheesy, like, this is honestly the best advice. Is I'm hosting a workshop. So I have a workshop December 7th, and it's for people who really want to get disciplined, who really want to, figure out the real type of meditation. I'm saying that, like, I'll talk about that in a second. So, like, for instance, people will always say to me, like, Cynthia, I just love gardening. Gardening is my jam. I love gardening. That is my form of meditation. I'm like, first of all, kudos to you, because I literally kill everything. I either love it too much or not enough. But love you. Glad that brings you peace. Gardening is gardening.
Yeah.
And people who say they do guided meditation, I'm like, I'm happy that makes you feel relaxed. And in fact, that's really great for daydreaming, for law of assumption, assuming, for imagining. But that is not meditation. They're like, what do you mean? But what about praying? I pray every single day, and it goes hand in hand with meditation. But praying is praying, meditation is meditation. So people are like, okay, so what is meditation? It's literally the art of doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's shutting off your thoughts, because even the most glamorous, sexiest fabulous, glitteriest thought that you can possibly have
Yeah.
is so limiting
Yeah.
compared to what God, source, universe, however you like to label it, has in store for you.
Yeah.
And so in that workshop, I really teach everything about how to get started,
Yeah.
what it is, what it isn't, how to get over all the excuses.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They are the objections that you've had,
Yeah.
why you haven't done it yet. Really talking about some techniques to really help you stay focused during your meditation. And then most importantly, seeing it through and staying accountable. So that's really a great taste for newbies or people who want to try a new way. But I teach my actual system that I used, again, from this mentor and that mentor and that mentor that I combine together, work with my clients. I call it the successful soul system on how to shut off your thoughts, surrender, and actually allow those higher callings to come and emerge through you. So
yeah, I love
my
that.
best advice would be come work with me.
Yeah, and you guys should definitely come. I'm going to this workshop. I'm super excited, and you know, it's always great to learn everyone's way because everyone's way is different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that in the comment section and in the top of this video once the live is over. So you just click on it, sign up for the workshop, and I look forward to seeing you guys there as well. Talk to me about what would you attribute your success to? And what is success to you? What does that mean? Because I know success means something different to everyone.
Okay, that's fun. So I would say I attribute it to my discipline.
Yes.
Discipline.
Yes.
People hear that word, and what's the first thing you think? You're like, oh, ow, ooh, no. You got to change that. You're the CEO. You are the shot caller. How are you labeling it? Discipline. So ready, when it comes to flow state, people always want to talk about flow state. And you and I, we connected a little bit before this. She says, how was your week this week, Cynthia? I'm like, the best week I've ever had in my life. Like every week is the best life. It just keeps getting better and better. I'm in flow, and I like to lead by example. I don't, oh, get in flow state. No, watch me, watch my life, watch what is happening. I will show you what flow state looks like because I'm living it, I'm breathing it. This week has been so amazing, which is like a whole nother story. But the thing is, how do you get in flow? Flow is a combination. Literally, there's an equation to it. It's discipline plus surrender equals flow. And when we think of the word surrender, a lot of times people are like, oh, like damsel in distress, like, woe is me. Like, no. It's doing the doing, which is the masculine side. And then the feminine of receiving. You go first, the universe responds. But what happens is when I work with my clients, they're so badass. These are very masculine, like corporate, executive, like all their checklist is done, 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 done. They do, but they don't sit back and work with the universal laws to be able to receive. You need to let flow come in. Yeah, so I would definitely say discipline. But the fun part too is that the second part of that question was like, what does success mean?
Yeah.
Somebody interviewed me not too long ago, and I kind of really love the response that came out. They asked a similar question. So I have a fun game, and this is kind of a good way that you and I can interact, and anybody watching can interact too. And if you're watching on replay, hashtag replay, we'll definitely jump in here and I'll be answering questions or helping you. But,
for this game. Okay, this is
ready? This isn't like a trick. This is just like a fun game.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to say a word, and I guess technically it's 2 words, but the very first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Like just okay. First thing. All right, ready? Black cat.
White cat.
White cat. Sure. Okay. A lot of times, and if you're listening, what is the first thing that came to your mind?
Okay, I think that
almost always.
People.
Do you have anybody?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it 1 second, but the answers usually are. I would have said Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. A lot of times people will say superstition. They'll say bad luck. They'll say scary. But some people will say cute, cuddly, companion.
Yeah.
Some people, if they're allergic, they're like, hell no, like allergic, no, okay. The crazy thing is the cat itself never changed.
Yeah.
The cat is just a cat. But the way that you choose to label it as the CEO of your life defines what it actually means in your reality. So when I said the word discipline, what was the first thing that came to your mind? Like, hell yeah, I'm all about discipline. Or were you more like, oh no, like that?
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Right. So somebody asked me, I did this black cat example, and they're like, I think that's so cool. So Cynthia, I have a word for you. And I was like, oh, okay. And she said, the word is success. And so the first thing that came out, like, boom, I said, mine.
Mind.
Mine. Like it's mine. Like I own it. I
Mind.
claim it. It's
Mind.
mine.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Mind. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Like, and so success is yours. You just have to choose it. You have to decide that it's yours, and then it will be. And remember, success can be anything that you want as far as all those different
Yeah.
categories. But you have to first claim it.
Yeah. That, wow. That's so powerful. Success is yours. You just have to choose it.
Yeah. Everything in life.
Yeah.
Everything in life is happening for you, by you,
Yeah.
not to you. And
Yeah.
once you get over the fact that it's not happening to you, you realize all your decisions, like right now, is literally just like the residual of all your past actions, thoughts, emotions, all of that. So
Yeah.
right now, you choose because that's gonna be the residual in the future.
Yeah.
You just have to change.
Absolutely. And it's really funny you say that because so many people say that, everything is happening for you. And the minute you realize that,
Yeah.
your perspective changes. I talk a lot
Mhm.
about perspective, and literally that's all life is, when this pandemic happened, and a lot of people were kind of going through a tough time. And I said, look, there's two types of people in the world. There's one who will see a problem and one who will see an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just your perspective, because there's people that have come out of this thriving. There's people who have come out of this in the same way they went into it. So it really is about perspective, and success is that perspective.
Yeah.
You're going to either flip it and you see it one way or you see it another way. um what
It's John Lennon who says, the more real you get, the more unreal the world gets.
Yeah,
And it's so, it really is. Yeah.
it really is. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I said, like, I've grown up in such a like a close knit culture and community, and I said the other day, and I said, I feel like I'm 26 years old, but I feel like I've been indoctrinated my whole life, because every time I discover something new, I'm like, okay, I was told something else and I believed it. And to break out of that shell, to come out again and again, and it's like you just peel those layers away. And it really is, the more real you get with yourself, the more unreal everything else around you gets.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole like reason I had so much success in sales too. It's just that, I mean, everybody is polarized. And it's making sure that you stay neutral and able to put yourself in anybody's shoes, where no matter where they're at, and
Mm,
understand their viewpoint. And that's how you create emotional connection. That's how you, as long as you're authentic, that's really how you earn trust, is
yeah,
by making sure you can understand somebody's story,
yeah,
and then help them paint with law of assumption, really the
yeah,
outcome of what it could be like.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I was reading something the other day, Cynthia, and it was like an article, or rather, it was like a statistics thing that said that in 2019 and 2020, 29% of the global population of women were in senior or executive positions. That's still
Mhm.
quite a small number. What do you think, from your experience, is not just in terms of, leaving aside the issues in the workplace, what is your take on what's stopping women from really going for it?
That's a good one. So I I noticed that a lot of times, and you and I actually talked about this a little bit.
Yeah,
My story was a little bit different, but a lot of times when women have children,
yeah,
they feel like that's the end of an era and a start
mm,
of a new. Well, it can be a start of a new, but in a different direction. It's just we have to label it differently. We have to think about it differently. So a lot of times, and again, children, that's a whole nother full-time job. Trust me. Like I said, I got two crazy kids,
yeah,
but I that's what fueled me. That's how I chose to look at it.
yeah,
It fueled me to get higher. I think too is that we we become so, because like you said, 20, was it 29%?
yeah, 29%. Yeah.
29%. That's like you said, that's a small percentage. So we have to admit the executive corporate world is still very much masculine.
Hmm.
And so what we do as women is try to sometimes fit into that culture and defeminize ourselves so that we can become more masculine. And
Hmm.
the thing is, what I teach my clients is really like, again, you can only do so much. That's the masculine.
Yeah,
It's when you learn to surrender and allow those higher callings to come in, and to allow your intuition to be play into the big part of it. Intuition is all feminine energy.
yeah,
And when you allow that to happen, that's where the big magic comes in. Like
yeah,
I always joke around, why not talk about ice cream? But I always say, like, a lot of my clients, like, they have the ice cream, they have the chocolate fudge, they even have the whipped cream on their own. Well,
Yeah.
that's all through the masculine energy, what they've been conditioned to do and in the workforce. You can only swim upstream so much until you start getting exhausted and burn out.
Yeah.
But I joke around and I say I have an inner tube for two. So
Yeah.
like come sit with me and we'll drink margaritas like the whole way down. Flow. Get into flow. You did the disciplining.
Yes.
But now that's only half the equation. You need to bring into the workforce that feminine energy, which is going to be the surrendering, the allowing, trusting in faith, and taking big risks
Yeah.
because of the opportunity that you know is in the unknown.
Yeah, definitely. And I completely agree with that. You know, when I first started kind of working with women that had been through trauma, I didn't realize I was doing this, but they would open up to me, and I didn't know why it was. I didn't understand, but there would be lawyers that would go in. They're like, "Can't work with this client. She's not opening up." And I would go in, and within 5 minutes, she'd be like telling me her whole story.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when I actually realized I'm operating from very feminine energy when I go into the room to speak to them. And it's just like, it just opens them up, and they kind of surrender to that moment. They tell me their story, they work with me, we cooperate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of women and our energy and how we work together,
Well, what's funny is you can tell I have a lot of masculine energy.
Yeah.
Like I'm very I'm known in the industry for like shaking my clients with love. Like if you come and work with me, you're gonna be held accountable. Like if you were to dabble, like we're not meant to be together. Like I will hold you to it. We are gonna do all the doing. Trust me, I do all the doing.
Yeah.
But I equally match it with the energy of receiving. But the thing is, I have a lot of masculine energy. Doesn't make me a male. Men can have the equal amount of feminine energy. But again, we live in a society that's really taught us to be more focused on the masculine. And so you have to have both in order to create magic, create life. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Catherine's asking here, could you explain the law of assumption? I've actually never heard of that term before. Oh, interesting.
Oh. Game changer, Catherine. Game changer. All right. Law of assumption. Go check out the godfather, I would call it, of law of assumption would be Neville Goddard. So he was one of the first reads, Power of Awareness book that I was just like, poof. I go into super depth in this book with my clients because it was that impactful on my journey. But law of assumption it's all about the feeling. A lot of times, everything's vibration, everything is frequency, but a lot of times people just focus on the thought. Like affirmations, I'm not a huge fan of affirmation because you'll say, I am super wealthy, I am super wealthy, I am super wealthy. That's what you think, right? But then you say, but I'm not really.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like, how am I going to be?
Yeah.
How? Like it does. So that feeling actually is what really fuels it more than anything. And you thinking that thought actually did the opposite for you than what you meant to.
Right.
What you need to do is get the feeling behind it. And how you do that is start with the end in mind. So if I was to be your business consultant on day one, we'd come up with a strategy, the structure, and of course the support. But we need a blueprint.
Yeah.
So if you're going to take a business and make it successful, you need a plan. But remember, you're the CEO of your business, but you're also the CEO of your life. So what is your plan?
Yeah.
You need to think with the end in mind. And whatever that plan is, be that woman. I call her your inner feminine beast.
Yeah.
That's who she is. And you need to relate to her and get into her shoes. What is she like? What does she wear? What does she say? How does she act? And assume you already have what you have, whether it's in your mind or you live it in your life. But that's what fuels it. Time isn't real. If you want to speed up time, use the law of assumption.
Yeah. I don't know if you know Dr. Joe Dispenza, but he talks about this in a lot of depth. And, he says it is literally telling your mind to be in a certain state, because when you go into the subconscious and say, I am that, your body just adjusts to that. So you start living that, and then that's the energy you're putting out in the world. And it's just like a cycle, one after another. And I find that so fascinating.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to you about my fascination with the subconscious recently, and just understanding it, because the mind and the way it works, it's so magical. Because once you really come to realize that you're not just a body, you are literally your mind, is dictating everything else around you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to gain weight, whether you want to achieve success in your life, in your business, in your career, how you want to be as a mom, like it all starts from one place. And it's just absolutely fascinating for me. So I have really this question for you is, like, I know you mentioned earlier as well, like women feel like their life changes after, you know, they start a new phase of motherhood in their life. You know, how can women use spirituality, meditation, metaphysics to create balance and happiness and unity in all areas of their life, so they feel like they're thriving?
Yeah. So honestly, if I could teach one thing and one thing only, and the thing that I will teach at the workshops, but also it's just, if I could create a ripple effect, if I could create a legacy, if I could like affect as many people as possible by shining my light, is to teach people to meditate. Again, when you meditate, you shut off all the thoughts, all the you're not pretty enough, you're not good enough, this is how it needs to be, this is different.
Yeah, you call the shots.
Okay.
You're the visionary. It's up to you. The accountability comes to you. Yeah. So,
sorry. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's just it's intermingling because I'm trying to monitor the chat on my side.
I think it's fine though. Okay. Yeah. I just before I was like literally hearing myself.
No. It's
so it's again, it's shutting off your thoughts. Yeah. Because you will realize all of these things that you think you don't have balance, it's because you're trying to figure it out. Yeah. When you go out in nature, nature is in balance. Nature is in harmony. Yeah. The grass doesn't try to grow. A fish doesn't try to swim. It just does. Yeah. And you have a natural currency, a natural flow that you need to go with too, as long as you get out of your thoughts. And what's so important is that when you find this flow, the connection with your children are going to become so much better. I lost 75 pounds from meditating. Yeah. People always ask, they're like, shut up. They're like, what else did you do? I'm like, no, really, that was it. And it's crazy. Like all of my clients, like all of them, 100% literally are like, their pants are getting baggier. They're like, what is happening? Because when you get to a higher frequency, that takes physical work for your body. Yeah. And when you become these higher frequencies, you need what happens within happens without. Yeah. So if you're working on the muscles interior, then they need a match. So the thing is, after you start getting in flow and just going with the ride and stop forcing things, your children are going to watch you too. They're going to notice you. The things my children come and say to me, like, I'm like, and they start teaching you, right? So, I mean, I'm seriously, if you haven't considered it, give it a try. Everything you want is on the other side of mastering your meditation.
I love that. What would you say to people who are skeptical about meditation? Because there are loads of people who are very like, does it actually work?
Hey, I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm not here to convince. I'm here to convey my message and stand in my truth.
Yeah.
How's life going for you? Come watch me in my life. That's all I know. Yes, I always joke around and I say, honestly, like I say, I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm here to convey, and neither should you. You should never convince anybody. When people come to me and they're like, Cynthia, I want to work with you, but you know, I'm not sure of the time, and I don't know if the money, and I don't know if my husband will approve. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a multi-seven-figure sales producer. It's not because I'm convincing you and I'm scheming, scamming, and all. Like, no, it's because I vibrationally know who I want to connect with, and they will find me and value me because I want people who want transformation. Your success, like your success is my reputation. So I need you to get transformations, right? So the thing is, it's like whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. And so it is what it is.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. You know,
I always say, so sorry, okay, but I always say I'm the Harvard of what I do.
Yeah.
I'm the Harvard of what I do. And I'm not affiliated with Harvard, but most of us know when I say Harvard that I mean like the best of the best. And Harvard doesn't say, oh, please come and try out Harvard. No, I swear Harvard's a good school. Like it is a good school. Like I promise.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you like you should be meditating, like, and you should really try me, please. Like, no, it's like, do you want it or are you not? Yeah. And the thing is, there's community colleges everywhere, and there's nothing wrong with community colleges, but people know Harvard is Harvard and community college is community college. So it's like, what story do you want? Do you want quick silver bullets? Do you want the best of the best?
Yeah.
I don't need to convince you. It's up to you. You're the CEO of your life.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And you know, I definitely agree. You know, like there's a standard of people that you want to work with. I'm the same. Like I don't like to convince people. It's like, are we going or not? That's literally what it is. Are we ready? Are we not ready? And I love that you say that. I know you mentioned way back when we first started speaking about confidence. You know, how that confidence block. How did you manage to overcome that and gain so much success? And kind of how long did it take you to just break out of that shell? Because a confidence block is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to work for a very successful online business consultant.
Right.
And I literally was like her first salesperson, and we grew her company from low 7 figures to 8 figures within a year. And
Wow.
that's me leading the sales, managing the sales, hiring the sales. And the thing is, she had a lot of masculine energy, but I loved it. It was such a good part for me to see that and be immersed in
Yeah.
it. But she was such a doer. Like, I'm talking about 80+ hour work weeks,
Wow.
like, and yeah, it was intense, but like, it challenged me so much.
Mm.
Then she really would like do things for me. But as a mentor in my past, like, it was so important. She made me so uncomfortable
Yeah.
all the time. And it was the best thing. She didn't realize it, but she was releasing the inner feminine beast. She was creating a monster because she would have me go live on video like this in front of 20,000 plus people when she couldn't do it. She would say, like, we would be at her live event, and she's like, hey, like, you know, I need to, like, I got to tear my tights. I need to go get them changed. So go out there. I'm like, there's 700 people out there. She's like, just go. And I'm like, okay. And like, and so I just realized I would coach her clients and her celebrity clients. And like, I would work with these 8-figure women and be coaching them and 7-figure. And I just was like, okay. And the thing is, I just realized after I did it, I was like, it wasn't that bad. In fact, it was invigorating. And in fact, I want more of this. I want to make it bigger. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. And the thing is, if you're too afraid to do it on your own, which most of us are, hire somebody. Get a mentor that will kick your butt and keep you accountable. You go to the gym, you hire a trainer. You need to be doing that for your mindset. And here's the thing, the most successful women, all of them have multiple mentors. So if you are looking for a mentor, please do not hire somebody that doesn't have mentors. Okay?
Absolutely.
That's so important. And also make sure that when you hire somebody, this is really important. This is what I like to say. I'm not here to teach my clients. I help them to remember. So again, you need to quiet your voice. You need to discipline your voice.
Yeah.
You can't hear that inner feminine beast. I'm here to teach you how to quiet your voice, but you have all the answers. I'm not here to give you the answers. I teach you to hear the answers. That's what I help you to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having so much like in my mind, because everything you're saying, I'm like, yes, there's so much synergy.
I love your vibe. Like, you're so beautiful inside and
and you know, thank you so much. And I say the same thing, you know, like, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's literally what it is. You know,
it's a secret sauce.
Yeah, it really is. I remember when I went to law school in my first year of law school, it was so hard for me because I went from a really kind of tight-knit conservative culture community where kind of growing up, I was never pushed into like expressing myself. My voice was kind of put in. I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. I knew it was my calling. And in my first year, I was like, I'm going to be president of the law school student club. And I was like, that's what I want to do. It's going to get me out of my comfort zone. Yeah. Oh my God. Like the first, I auditioned for it. I got the part, but I had to like start from like being an events manager in the law school club. And I had to stand in front of a lecture room full of like 200-300 students and announce an event. And oh my God, like the anxiety that came with it, the people, what are people going to say? I've never in my life done anything like that, let alone speak up within my household, you know? And just doing that, it was like literally 30 seconds of my life. And I was like, okay, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it never is. After you do something daring, you never like afterwards be like, oh man, I'm really mad I did that. You're always like, hell yeah, I did it. Like, you always celebrate. So just keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's one of the universal laws, right? It's kind of the idea of like a pendulum.
Yeah.
It swings equal amount of ways. Okay. See if I can fit my hand in. There you go. The camera's so you have to swing. There you go. Thank you. You have to swing equal amount of ways, right? But what happens is things are really, really successful. Things are really amazing. Mm-hmm. Then by law, it's going to swing the equal amount of way, which means this sucks. It's going to be very hard. It's going to be testing. Most people, when it swings this way, say, oh my God, that's it. I'm stopping the pendulum because I don't want to ever go through this again. I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to fail. And the thing is, it's never really failing unless you quit. So what you have to do is take bigger risks because it moves the pendulum back even more so that it can swing higher even more this way. Wow. But you have to get comfortable with the unknown, because when you take that, that's how you present new opportunity, and that's how you create more success.
What a beautiful way of explaining that.
Like this.
Yeah, it's like swinging through life, you know?
It's magical.
Yeah, just swinging through life, just, you know, one way and then the other. But I love that way, the way that you've explained it. You know, the way I see it in my mind is like every time I want to take a risk, I imagine and I vision myself standing at the edge of the cliff with me not facing the cliff, and I imagine myself falling back. And I know that there's a net somewhere at that point, because you just kind of spring back up higher and then land on your feet. And that's like the vision I always get. But I love the way you've explained that.
You'll never get anything you can't handle.
Yeah, absolutely. And this has been so amazing. I've absolutely loved this conversation with you. I know that there are like a couple of people that stuck through. I hope that you guys got a lot of value from this, because I know I sure did. And I hope that you join Cynthia's group. So wait, before I even get to your group, tell us about your group.
Yeah, sure. So I have my Facebook group, which is called the Spiritual Success Sorority.
Yeah.
My name's Cynthia Stant. I love alliteration, right? So Spiritual Success Sorority. And I always kick myself in the butt, because a lot of times when I'm live, I'm like, I did really good there. So round of applause. Thank you. So the Spiritual Success Sorority. Now, the thing is, that is really all entrepreneur women. These are badass women. These are women who understand that it's not just the doing, that we're open to the concepts of metaphysics. So we do a lot of fun things in there. Every Monday, we have Metaphysical Mindset Monday. We'll all go do a free teaching. We'll go really in depth on the topic that you pick. So I never like to get on camera and just talk about what I think you want to hear. I talk about what I know you want to hear. So on Tuesdays, we have Topic of the Week, where you get to vote on the topic. It's a poll. It's interactive. You can see what everybody else is voting for. You can vote. On Wednesday, we have Wealth Wednesday. Tell everybody about what you do, how they can work with you, all your links like that. But also on Wednesday, we have Weekly Wisdom Wednesday. I like to use angel cards. I'm not saying use them as a tool, but come on, let's admit they're just fun, right? So it's kind of like a fun way for you to learn and practice tapping into your intuition. So I'll do live readings for that. And then on Thursday, we have 2-minute tip of the week. So whatever topic you picked, I'll give you a quick 2-minute tip that you can apply and get results right now. And then we hang out on the weekend, because on Sunday is Successful Sunday. I think Sunday is my favorite day, because I want you to celebrate all your wins. I want you to tell everybody. That is why this group was created, to be a safe place to celebrate. We do not celebrate enough. Remember, we hear all the no's when we were little. So we look for the negative versus the positive.
Yeah.
And when you have a win, you have to celebrate it. Of course, if you get that Maserati, celebrate it. If you get 5 new clients, celebrate it. But if you got your nails done, celebrate it. If you had a great coffee date, if you had a great hanging out like you and I are, celebrate it. I want to see it. I want to celebrate with you. And that's really what the group is for support. And then of course we have the workshops in there as well. Which once in a while.
Definitely. So. And I've been to your previous, not the previous one, but the one previous to that, and it was amazing. So I would definitely.
Oh yeah, we have Friday. Sorry, Friday is my girl crush of the week.
Yes, girl crush. Thank you so much for showcasing me. That was definitely, yes, thank you so much. So yeah, I've definitely been to your workshops, and I think it's really amazing, and there's so much value that you do provide us with. How can people get in contact with you if they want to work with you one-to-one?
Sure. So I actually have 2 more spots available for one-to-one in the Spiritual Success program that I have.
Right.
Now, starting in December, the Spiritual Success, actually in January, I have Spiritual Success program. It's going to be a 12-month program. I have a one-on-one that I can do in 6 months. Since we're working one-on-one together, I can kind of jam pack it. Yeah. But basically, you can contact me at and my team at info@cynthiastant.com.
Right.
And then also you can reach out once you get into the group. As soon as you join the group, my team is going to send you a welcome message. They're going to learn all about you. Megan, her username is Megan Cynthia Team. She's like your go-to girl. You can always DM me too, of course, if you want to find me here on Facebook.
That's awesome. And I'm going to link all of this. Once this live is over, you'll see all the links pop up on the top. So just go ahead, message Megan. She's absolutely lovely. She gets back to you very, very fast. She's amazing, and she's always on it. That's what I like. She's always on it. You can reach out.
I like white glove service. You can find me at Ritz-Carlton because I like good service. So if you are in my group, you're going to be treated with the best white glove service. You have a concierge when you come into my group because I want to take care of you. You deserve it.
I love that. I love it. And so that's really great. Okay, so I'm gonna link all of those on the top, and just to finish off, what are your words of wisdom? What for all the warrior women out there? What are your words of wisdom?
Yeah, so there is, you probably heard me say it a million times, Raina, but I have a mantra that I live by. It came to me in meditation one time. It's literally when I sign off on my videos, it's what I always say when I work with my clients. It's like our way of saying goodbye to each other, but it's acknowledge it, embrace it, see it through. And the reason this is my mantra is because it works in every single scenario, whether it's overcoming fear, whether it's overcoming a lost parent like I have, whether it's overcoming an addiction, whether it is, you know, becoming a better mom, whatever it is, like whatever stories that you are experiencing, you have to acknowledge that it's part of your story, that it did happen and it did define you at that time. But right now you can embrace it, embrace the now, embrace the opportunity, and do something about it. See it through, take the action on it. So when in doubt, acknowledge it, embrace it, see it through.
That is so beautiful, and what a nice way to end this conversation and leave people in thought with: acknowledge it, embrace it, see it through. I love that. Thank you so much for coming here and sharing all of this amazing wisdom, knowledge, experience as well with us all. And I'm sure that those of you who have stuck through, it's been so invaluable. I know it has for me. And I always say, you know, you become one of my soul sisters because we resonate so much. And just having a conversation with you, like I said the other day, you just kind of flipped something in my mind, and I was like, I need to explore this a bit more. Yeah. And I love that. I love having that connection with, you know, other women who are on that same kind of mind frame.
I think it's so amazing too. I'm in Florida in the US, you're in the UK, and like we're talking here in real time. It's never been easier to make things happen.
Never.
Go do it, everybody. Like it's amazing what you can do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you so much. I hope you
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. Shout out to Catherine. Hey there.
Yes, Catherine stuck through. Like, thank you so much, Catherine. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely weekend. I hope all of you have a lovely weekend. I am going to go and eat lots of nice food now because it's my cousin's birthday. So yes, so that's my Friday evening after a very long time. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.